Hello and welcome to today's meditation. It's the second part of a meditation I started last week on me, mine, and myself. Bit of a contemplation meditation. So let's get settled and we will start. Find a comfortable position, eyes open or shut, lying down, sitting, or standing. So just noticing how you're arriving today. And however you're arriving is just fine. Noticing your breath, the sounds around you, feeling into the contractions in the body, the expansion, noticing what's underneath you, the ground, the cushion, and adjusting your posture slowly, mindfully if you need to, feeling into the anchor points, what's touching the ground with the cushion underneath you. Feeling the body arrive more fully now, settling into this moment together and with each other. I'll start with a quote from the Buddha. Joy comes not through possession or ownership, but through a wise and loving heart. Joy comes not through possession or ownership, but through a wise and loving heart. Notice if there's any thoughts arising from that, or just any thoughts that are traveling around your mind today. Shining light on those thoughts. Maybe it's your top 10 hits, like for rock music or pop music. Some of these thoughts swirl around often. We're very familiar with them, but they are also changing. We are not our thoughts, and our thoughts are not us. Notice if we are identifying with any of these thoughts. Or if we're clinging to these thoughts, maybe there's some contraction and imagining letting some of these thoughts pass through us. Maybe there's some imagery that can help, putting them in a river or seeing them as clouds in the sky, like leaves in a river drifting down, or clouds in the sky floating by. Just passing through like everything else in our lives. So remembering that there's a body here, feeling into the ground once more. Resting in breath or sound. And if you need to locate yourself, you can look around the room, or you can keep your eyes closed. It's meditator's choice. And thinking about all the beautiful things you own now. Maybe it's something small. Maybe you have a phone or an electronic device of some sort, computer, tablet, or maybe it's something like a bike or instrument, a car. Maybe you have a small house, or maybe you have many of these things or some of these things. Maybe you saved up for these things or they were given to you. Just notice any attachment to these material possessions you might own. Maybe it's something I didn't mention you're very attached to. And as you think to maybe one of your favorite things you own, notice any sensations that arise in the body. And listening to this phrase, all that is mine, beloved and pleasing, will otherwise will become otherwise, will become separated from me. I'll read that again. All that is mine, beloved and pleasing, will become otherwise, will become separated from me. So, how does this land in the body? Knowing that this thing or things you have will one day be separated from you. We cannot bring these things to the next life, even if we bury them in the ground with us. And I'm going to read a short poem here about things. It's called This Cup is Already Broken by Ajahn Chah. You see this cup? For me, this cup is already broken. I enjoy it. I drink out of it. It holds my water admirably. If I tap it, it has a lovely ring to it. But when I put this cup on a shelf and the wind knocks it over, or my elbow brushes it off the table, it falls to the ground and shatters. I say, of course. When I understand that the cup is already broken, every moment with it is precious. So, how is it to know that your cup will be broken? Your phone, your computer, your car, these things get lost, stolen, and they break down. How is it to know that in the body? It's just a matter of time. So, moving the body, if it needs to move a little bit, we are very attached to our stuff. We can become contracted, some of us. So, taking some deep, clearing breaths and bringing our attention to those people around us that we love. Maybe it's our friends, our lovers, or our family. Taking a moment to send well wishes to them, full of warmth. And knowing that one day everyone I love will be separated from me. One day everyone I love will be separated from me. And how does that land in the body? Notice the breathing, the sensations, knowing that none of us are permanent on this planet. And it can be hard to bear, so we can send ourselves love and tenderness around losing loved ones. Maybe we have or we are losing loved ones, or we will lose loved ones to heartbreak or death. So just sending yourself some love. keeping that love and that warmth in the hand, on the heart, or just energetically. One day, everyone I love will be separated from me. And offering yourself compassion around this. Noticing any new sensations in the body, any shifts, moving the body mindfully if it needs to readjust. Notice your breathing if it shifted, or maybe it needs to shift. And bringing your awareness again to the floor, the cushion, the ground, the pull of gravity, just surrendering to that. Knowing that all bodies belong to this earth, to nature, and letting go of any delusion that those of us around us will be young or live forever. And letting go of any delusion that we will be young and live forever. And being with a sense of relief around that instead of a denial. That there's cycles with everything. And that all projects, organizations, and communities also shift and change. All people change, all communities change, all projects and organizations change. Luckily, all governments change, and our cities are changing. And we can surrender to this change, but we can also find the courage to find that courage and that skill inside ourselves to take action when necessary. So we can relax with the change and also become alivened if there is a place and a time to do action here. But none of these things are permanent. And I wish you luck discerning between the things we can change and the things we can't. And I'll end now with a quote again from the Buddha. Health, contentment, and trust are your greatest possessions. and freedom your greatest joy. I'll say it one more time. Health, contentment, and trust are your greatest possessions, and freedom your greatest joy. So I wish you lots of happiness and health and trust. Thank you so much for joining me. Feel free to write in the comments below about anything that you want. And there's the Donna links below and more information about all our sanghas at True North Insight. So thanks for joining me today, and I'll see you next week. Thank you for your practice.